Welcome back to Lobby Talks. Today's episode is Tulsa's Cultural Moment, from local art to global impact. I'm sitting down with Meg Gould, the Executive Director of FMAC Tulsa. Hi, Meg.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here today. So let's start with your story, Meg. What brought you to Tulsa and what inspired you to take on this role with Tulsa Film, Music, Art, and Culture?
I know it's a long title. I came here from Dallas, and my background is in production and film. I started out working on films and television. So I worked on Godzilla, I worked on Walker, Texas Ranger, I worked on the Oscars one year. So, I mean, it's like I have a variety of production experience. I moved back to Dallas. That was in Los Angeles. I moved back to Dallas, started working freelance there, and shortly after that, I was approached by the Film Commission there for a position, and I thought it would be really cool to be able to work in the community as well as work on films. And so I was there for a total of like 13, 14 years. I did do some tourism in between my stints at the Film Commission, but I was approached by Renee McKinney, who worked with me in Dallas, about this job. And honestly, in Texas, we were paying attention to like what Oklahoma was doing, because we were like, why are these productions going to Oklahoma? And so I saw the momentum happening here and thought it would be an amazing transition in my career. I was looking for something different, and to be a part of that momentum is very exciting.
Love it. Sounds like you had quite the tenure in the industry, and we have Renee to thank for pulling you over here. I love that. So how has Tulsa's film and music scene evolved over the recent years?
There's an excitement for film and music here. Of course, Tulsa's been known as a music city, but we're trying to grow that even more with the popularity of like Zach Bryan and few others that are coming out of here right now. Caitlin Butts is really big. Tulsa is getting more and more of a spotlight on the music industry, so we're just trying to find ways that we help grow the business as well. And then on the film side, we have increased the number of productions that are coming here. We have 2 that are about to start production. We just wrapped up with The Sensitive Kind, which is now known as The Lowdown, which is a television series for FX that we're really excited about. So we're seeing more and more people taking notice of what Oklahoma has to offer and the talent that we have here and the untouched resources that we have here, that they're really enjoying the lower cost of production costs. And we also have incentives that are very attractive to productions. So we have them on the state level, and then we have local incentives as well. And Tulsa is about to announce their local incentive. And all of those can be stacked on top of one another, so it gives them a little bit of a sweetener to come to Tulsa and film. So we're really excited about that. Having 2 film commissions here also helps with the promotion of our film industry. So we have the Cherokee Film Commission, and then we have our office as well, and we work very closely together to make sure that all the projects get the love that and attention that they need, and enjoy filming in Tulsa overall, and so they'll come back. So the momentum is just fantastic. It's just keeps going, and we just don't want it to stop, and we just want to keep growing it.
Sounds like you've formed a beautiful partnership, and you're really just attracting those productions here. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what role do local artists play in shaping Tulsa's identity?
Well, when you say artists, there's several different types of artists that I can talk about. Like I said, we have a lot of musicians coming out of here, very talented, that are getting noticed. So that helps quite a bit. We have Sterling Harjo that calls Tulsa home, and he has really, really grown our industry here and brought a lot of attention. When Reservation Dogs came out, everybody's like, I don't know where that is, but this is a great show. And FX has a first look deal with Sterling Harjo. And so when he says, I want to have a production in Tulsa, they're like, okay. And they don't do that for everyone. They recognize Sterling's talent and what he's building here. And so they accommodated that. As far as like the arts and culture part of it, we have so many creatives here. We have tribes here that are unique, more unique than probably anywhere in the United States. We have 3 that like all come together and they work closely together and telling their stories and the way that they're investing in the arts as well. So whether it's film like Killers of the Flower Moon, or if it's Cherokee Film building their infrastructure out there where they have studios and an institute, a film commission, and their original program, it's really brought a lot of attention to Tulsa. I can tell you when I was in Cannes for the Cannes Film Festival, I had several meetings that were talking about Indigenous filmmaking, and they heard great things about Tulsa and the Cherokee Film Office. So
Love that.
it
Always
is,
promoting
yeah,
Tulsa, right?
it's just fantastic. They don't know where Tulsa is or where Oklahoma might be, but they're hearing great things. So my job is just to explain that to them and what we have to offer.
And I love that you brought up Reservation Dogs. I love that show. And I know when I was watching it, they were shooting this little scene in a diner in Beggs, and I've sat in that same booth. I got so excited to see it on the big screen. Amazing. I love the work that y'all do to bring in people and promote Cherokee Nation and their productions and partner with them to make amazing projects.
Yeah, they're great partners.
All right. Are you seeing more out-of-town creatives or tourists being drawn in because of all this amazing work you're doing and the productions you're bringing here?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, people love coming here because of The Outsiders, whether it's the book or the film and now the musical. It's been pretty incredible to ride that wave. And Danny Boy O'Connor's done such a great job with the museum. So we see a lot of traffic coming in for that. Killers of the Flower Moon definitely brought in people into Pawhuska and other areas that are curious about the story because they had not heard the story, so they were investigating it a little bit more. And then, of course, Tulsa King. This is a kind of a bittersweet one, but
you got to mention it.
Yeah, I have to mention it because it does bring in tourists to Tulsa. There's often people coming to the Mayo, just walking into the lobby and taking photos and like leaving. So now they have a restaurant there too. So we feel like that they're gonna like stop and eat and just enjoy it a little bit more. And they're always wondering where all the other locations are. So we're coming up with ways that we can kind of say, well, this could have been based on this location in Tulsa since it wasn't filmed here.
Right. It was mostly in OKC, right?
OKC the first season, and then Atlanta for the second and third season. They just are completing the third season right now. We did have them come in last year for a couple of weeks to do some shooting around. So the second season looks a lot more like Tulsa to me because they're not trying to double OKC as Tulsa. They actually came and did some establishing shots in Tulsa to cut it into there.
Yeah,
and
at
to
least
make
got
it
to
yeah,
fit
you
in
get
that
a little,
Tulsa
yeah,
B-roll, right?
Exactly. And I'm sure that once the lowdown comes out, that we'll see some tourists coming in for that as well.
We're
It's
all
going to be
so
really great.
That's going to be amazing. So what role do local filmmakers play in shaping Tulsa's identity on screen?
Well,
I guess that kind of goes back
yeah,
to the question.
back to like Sterling.
Yes.
I mean, he has unique stories that he wants to tell. He wants to tell them truthfully. And not everybody agrees with that, but I respect him so much. He definitely has built this industry. He has taken people that he's known that had nothing to do with the film industry and say, hey, you want to work in the film industry and come and work on this project? And because of that, our industry has grown tremendously. We also have production companies like Rebellion Films who do a lot of good size films that employ people in between the larger ones especially, and then also help us train up our crew. We need to build our workforce, and they have been so good about training crew and getting them ready to grow into other positions. So we're very thankful for those type of companies here.
Well, we are too. Anything that makes the film industry accessible to
Yeah.
Okies and Tulsans.
And I will tell you, it's been really great having a larger presence with a series like The Lowdown, because I will get calls or texts or photos sent to me that are like, oh, we were just driving down the street and look. I'm like, that's so great. So it's getting people excited, which we love, because then that makes us look a little bit more friendly, film friendly. Some cities have had a lot of productions, so they've gotten burned on some productions. But Tulsa just keeps their arms open and just welcomes those productions that are coming in. And that is a huge selling point, because, you don't get that in every city.
Right? Like, we will shut down that street
Yeah,
to make it
absolutely.
happen.
Yeah.
We're excited for it. All right. So can you tell me, kind of shifting gears to the music side,
Yeah.
what are some of the key initiatives or programs you are working on to bring Tulsa music community together?
Yeah, it's so exciting. Natalie in our office has been doing a great job on this. We have started several different programs, and we have things like Tulsa Music Month, which is in July. We have Tulsa on Tour, which is a program that's like tourism ambassador program. So we help musicians get on the road if they have more than 4 tour dates outside of Tulsa, and give them a grant of $250 to $1,000 if they're doing so. And then they talk about Tulsa. And they post about Tulsa, and they talk about Tulsa music. They talk about their favorite things. So it's been very successful. We just finished our first year, and we granted over $30,000 to local musicians. And it's really helped. We've heard stories like, oh, our van broke down in Texas or whatever. And so they were able to get it fixed and get back home because of the funds that we supplied. And then also, we have a mix and master series. So the mix part is the networking, and masters will bring in a panel of experts to talk about different topics. So the last ones that we've had, well, we've only had this going since January, but the last one that we had, we brought in the music supervisor for Taylor Sheridan's shows. So Landman and, of course, Yellowstone and all of those. So she was talking about how to get your music into film and television. And it was during Mayfest, and we had a great turnout. So we're just looking to continue those type of programs and really help our local community. We did a music census last year, and some of these topics came out of that census and showed us that people are asking about the business part of the music industry, and people are asking about, how do I get insurance? I'm trying to make it as a full-time musician, and I can't afford to get sick because I don't have insurance. So we're putting those kind of programs into our Mix and Master series. So we just really want to help our local industry grow, and we want to help our local industry to where they still call Tulsa home once they get successful. So we want them to go out and do their best and tour, but come back to Tulsa too.
That's incredible. A lot of incredible initiatives supporting them, and then that turns them into an ambassador, right?
Absolutely. And then we were also nominated as Top Music City with the Music Cities Convention. So we're going to those awards first. So we'll know a little bit more about that as well. And then on the film side, we've been nominated for Film City as well in multiple programs. So everything from the International Production Awards to, let's see, the last one was the Location Managers Guild Awards. So we're really excited. It just shows that Tulsa's getting out there.
Yeah, that's an incredible nomination, and my
Yeah.
fingers are going to be crossed.
Thank you.
We get that for Tulsa. How are local venues helping to support emerging talent in the city?
They are hiring our local musicians, and that helps tremendously. So as long as our local musicians get the exposure and more people get to see them, the more popular they get, then they can afford to get out on the road and really meet other people to do tours with, etc. So we're trying to help them as well with connecting them to musicians in other cities. So we did Folk Alliance, which was in Montreal this past year, and we did it with Fort Worth. And they brought 3 musicians. We brought 3 musicians. They all played on their own, but then they played together as well. So it was a really cool moment to like see these artists in different cities come together. Now they're all talking about, well, why don't you come to Fort Worth to play? And then vice versa. They're like, oh, I had this gig at Mercury Lounge all the time, so why don't you come and play with me too? So, and we appreciate, again, like these venues telling us who's up and coming by just booking them and giving them exposure.
And then other venues follow suit.
Exactly.
Right? That's amazing. Love that. Are there any new initiatives that you're excited about and want to share?
We're actually creating a film incentive right now. We're really, really close to getting it launched, so that will be very exciting. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's enough to sweeten the pot to like maybe get someone to come here rather than go maybe to Louisiana or something, And we are also creating more and more music initiatives and trying to identify that. Natalie has a whole list of things that she wants to do, and she's just done so many amazing things. You may have heard that the All-American Rejects just did their house party here. Natalie reached out to Tyson Ritter and asked him for support with Tulsa Music Month, and he said, well, we're doing these house parties. Why don't we do one for Tulsa FMAC? And so they allowed us to get donations from that concert. So, that was so much fun. It brought in $1,300 to go towards Tulsa on Tour. And we're just so thankful for the All-American Rejects for doing that and giving us more ideas of how we can do more things like that. So there's a lot to come. We need an increase in our budget, but
Just a little bit
but we're doing what we can with what we have, and there's only two of us, so there's just a lot of things that we have on the horizon that we can't wait for.
A lot of moving parts. Yeah. You sound so busy.
It is a busy job, but it's so much fun. I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Wonderful. And I did see that campaign with All American Rejects. Like, how do I get them at my house? Like, I commented, I tried, like, come out. Let's party.
They were so great. I mean, it's like, the hardest part about that was keeping the secret.
Of course.
And they, their team was just fantastic. And so we're just very fortunate that Tyson calls Tulsa home and he wanted to do something for his hometown.
Love that. How do you think visibility has affected local hospitality and tourism?
I think it's really energizing our local community. Seeing Tulsa on the big screen is it's pretty cool. I mean, it's like I look outside my window and I see the Federal Building. And I always think, oh my God, that was in Killers of the Flower Moon. So it's amazing what just a little bit of recognition of your hometown does to re-energize the locals. And then they reach out to me all the time and are like, what can we do to help? I mean, let me know if I can volunteer, or how do I become an extra? It's a lot.
Well, how do they? Let's share where they can reach out.
No, our website is a great resource for people. So we do have a lot of information on there. The homepage, you can click on whatever you're interested in, whether it's film or music or the arts, and then you can go into more of those homepages to find out what jobs are available in the film industry. What does it take to get a permit? You can list in our production directory if you're in the film industry. We have a creative directory that is offered for free, and that's a big sales tool of ours as well. So we point a lot of productions there to find their crew. We have a location database as well. So if there's properties that you want to be considered for filming, then send us your photos. You can upload them directly on our website and our location database. And then we're pretty accessible via email, or shoot me a text or something if you have a question. We just always want to be very open in our office and help the locals gain experience in our creative industries. I mean, that's one of our biggest assets, is just having that website and having a lot of those answers on the website. So it's tulsafmac.com.
Yeah, and we will put that link in the show notes as well.
Yep.
It's great that you get the community to get engaged, and then you also use them and highlight their skills, businesses right there on the website, so you can share with production teams.
Absolutely. Well,
get
we're
them
proud
over
of
here.
Tulsa. We want Tulsans to be a part of everything that we're creating. And I mean, it's like, if this wasn't such a great city, it wouldn't be so popular all of a sudden. And
Right.
well, not all of a sudden. I mean, it's been popular, but I mean, it's like getting more and more recognition.
Yeah, we're on a really, we're like a constant ball that's rolling here in Tulsa. It's just snowballing. The amazing things, the amazing recognition we're getting, the amazing work your office is doing.
Oh, thank you.
So how can local hotels and restaurants collaborate with the cultural sector in Tulsa? Any standout partnerships? I mean, you kind of already mentioned this, your partnership with Cherokee Film Nation, but what can venues and hotels do specifically to help partner with them? I mean, you just gave me a great example of putting business photos on.
Yeah, and we in our production directory or our creative directory, we also list accommodations. So we encourage all hotels to list in there. We often get leads from productions that are saying, okay, we are needing 35 rooms per night for 6 weeks. And so we'll send that lead out to various hotels, depending on what area of town they want to be in. I mean, we try to push them out to everybody, but sometimes they're very specific of where they want to be. And Tulsa already has a pretty great hotel rate compared to especially like Los Angeles. So just working with us to make sure that we're hitting the budgets that these people are needing and just being accessible. The film industry, the film industry is just not a 9-to-5 job. It is a 24/7 job. And so there's sometimes that there will be crazy requests that come in at, that they wrapped late or they're going to wrap late and they need to have snacks available for the crew as they come into the hotel or whatever it might be. So just be prepared for those type of requests and be a little bit flexible because, again, not 9-to-5. And then restaurants, I'm part of an organization called OKMPA, and I'm head of the fundraising committee. And it's the Oklahoma Motion Picture Alliance. We lobby for incentives at the state level. And right now we're trying to get the cap raised from $30 million to $80 million that we can offer as an incentive. We've had like McNally's come on board and offer our members a 10% discount on food. And so those really help us, and it gets their name recognized with our crew. So also when productions are coming in, they're like, McNally's really helped us out on that. Let's do our team dinner there or whatever. So we just appreciate, again, their flexibility. There's all kinds of like catering type needs that we have in the industry as well, whether it's film or music. When the All-American Rejects were in town, they asked for specific restaurants and stuff to cater. And so just having those relationships with people that we're able to call them up when we get those requests is amazing. So I'm not digging or calling other people going, hey, do you know somebody at? So we just want to know who everybody is and who we can call if we get these type of requests. So I always encourage people to reach out to us and let us know who they are. Because if we don't know who you are, then we can't actively promote you too.
Right, yeah. Well, it's important to reach out, make that relationship. And a lot of the things you said are super simple, accommodating a late night because the production team just worked 12 hours or partnering with the local restaurants. That's such a great example of something simple as a 10% discount can open the door to them.
Absolutely. Just Tulsa has so much to offer. We just want to make sure that we're spreading the love around.
All right. So in your opinion, what makes Tulsa's hospitality scene unique compared to like other mid-sized cities or destination type cities?
I would say that there's such a sense of community and pride here that everyone here just wants to put their best foot forward and just really, really accommodate these crazy requests that may come through our office. And so for that, we're so thankful. I mean, it's just having those front desk people being with smiles and accommodating and making sure everybody's doing okay, or being able to recommend a restaurant that's in walking distance after, a long day or something. So, it's just that friendliness, that sense of pride, and just a very well-rounded city. So it comes across. We get comments all the time about like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that this existed there, or, I asked so-and-so this and they like took me and just like got me a seat at this restaurant, or, gave me tickets to the PAC center or whatever it is, so it's just the friendliness that comes across, and it's very noticed.
Right. I feel like Tulsa's biggest asset are the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have great hospitality here.
Mhm.
Everyone's open doors. And like you said, everyone wants to be that tour guide. Even if you're stuck behind the front desk of a hotel, you still want to guide them in Tulsa and be a little ambassador for what's going on in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. And, it's like, and having various like very well-known museums. We have the Bob Dylan Center with a Guthrie that bring a lot of people in. The church studio brings a lot of people in. So we can do a whole like itinerary on music. We can do a whole itinerary on film. And then we have amazing arts here. You see the Tulsa Ballet going to Europe to perform and having a standing ovation for 4 minutes, and all these things that just is mind-blowing that we have hosted here in Tulsa. And so it makes a really easy sell when you have these great attractions and stuff to be able to talk about. So that's important too. When a film comes here, they want to know, what can we do, on our off time, and having trails throughout the city and the gathering place. We have a certain production that's coming in town that we're showing the gathering place because they really, really liked it. So I can't talk about it yet, but it'll be something that Tulsa knows about. We have green spaces like Guthrie Green that offer free music. We have the amazing Philbrook, and I can't wait until Gilcrease opens again. So, and all these places have great programming. It just blows my mind. There's something going on in this town all the time. I mean, I have a hard time just not doing stuff. And just, I'm like going, but this is going on now. I got to go to Mix at Philbrook,
I go see those samurais.
Exactly.
They're so cool.
So, there's no end to what we have to offer, and then of course there's the aquarium down in Jinx, and we have the new mall for shopping. There's so much going on in the city all the time.
Yeah, Turkey Mountain just down the street expanded.
I just saw that.
Yeah, that's incredible. So much recreational, get in nature, see some art, listen to some good music on the Guthrie Green.
Yeah. And then of course go to the Merc and get take in the bluegrass brunch, which is so fun. And then Cane's, my God, their programming last year just blew me away of everybody that they brought in. It was just amazing. So yeah, just.
Oh, yeah. I'll go to Cane's anytime.
Can you tell
care.
I'm a fan?
If it's standing room only, I will stand up. I will listen.
Absolutely.
The atmosphere there is cool, and it's nice and intimate.
Absolutely. And I mean, just think when OK Pop opens, too.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a blast. All right. So now we're going to do something a little fun. We're going to do rapid fire favorites. Okay? I know I'm putting you on the spot, and no one should get offended if you say something. we're not excluding everyone. It's rapid fire. So I'm really putting you on the spot. So favorite local venue for live music?
It's a tie.
I knew it was going to be.
I love going to the Merc. And the Canes is unbelievable. Of course, the BOK brings in some great big acts. But as far as local haunts that I really like, it's got to be the Mercury.
Love it. All right, best place to grab a late night bite after the event?
Oh, probably Velvet Taco.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Love good
it's easy. It's on my way home.
Perfect. All right, dream artist you'd love to bring to perform in Tulsa?
You too.
You hear that? Come on out.
You too.
Okay, most iconic Tulsa film moment or location, or maybe scene or location. Where was that one spot? You're like, that was huge. We're in
Yeah, oh
that.
my gosh. Well, there's one thing that we were involved with last year that I thought was really cool. We brought the Outsiders cast, the musical cast, to Tulsa so they could experience it. Angelina Jolie came in as well with it. She's a producer. But there was this one shot that they really wanted, and they wanted train tracks and just like a really good kind of Tulsa moment with the cast. And so I found a location that ended up on the front page of the New York Times.
I saw that.
And it's blown up right in front of their theater. And that was like, oh my gosh, we did that. Our office did that.
That's
So that
so
was really
huge.
cool. Yeah. So I think that's just one of many. But yeah, that one just really makes me proud.
Really stands out
Mhm.
for all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so local festival you will never miss.
A local festival. Well, and I hate to say this because it just, well, as far as film festivals, of course, the Circle Cinema. And the reason I was saying I hate to say that because it's like I had to go to my niece's wedding. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to. I wanted to be a part of her life. But I was out of town for my niece's wedding, and so I didn't get to attend this time. But that's great. The Blue Whale Comedy Festival is a great one as well. We had Jazz on the Green, which is fantastic. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to name them all.
And you already mentioned Mayfest.
And Mayfest, of course. Yes. And they did such a good job this year. Corey Taylor, good one.
Love it. All right. And to wrap it up, why is this moment right now in Tulsa, this cultural moment, important for the future of Tulsa?
Well, because we've gained so much attention and momentum, we need to look ahead and see what the next steps are to continue this growth, which is not difficult because it's Tulsa. But it's just really important to continue our story, whether it's good or bad. We've had several stories that have not shown Tulsa in the best of light, but Tulsa owns it now. And so we just continue to grow from those different stories and the way that we presented ourselves during those times, of telling those stories, and just keep going. And we're just going to keep doing better and better.
Love it. Just keep telling the story, keep sharing, keep
Yeah.
putting Tulsa on the map.
And I mean, it's like our native and indigenous stories are so important, and I find it fascinating. I've been like, I dove into that when I first got here and continue to try to learn. But just to see how the tribes are thriving right now, it's just amazing to me. So, they're building a whole different type of business through their eyes and for their tribes, and it's very heartwarming to see.
Yeah, we definitely need to support more, bring more opportunities to them so that they can better support their people and building different community centers for
Yeah.
them. Very important.
Absolutely.
All right. And then a little bit directly to our hospitality teams, how can we support and participate in this movement, in this momentum alongside Tulsa?
Just be available for when we get our requests and be responsive. The hospitality industry is great here. We have some great people in place. The main thing that holds us back is waiting on people, and especially the film and the music industry are not very patient on waiting. So the quicker we get a response, the quicker we can get it to them, and it helps the hospitality industry as well because we're trying to get those answers to them quickly. And if they're not to us quickly, then we're not including them. So, we just appreciate a quick response and just continue to let us know what's going on in your properties. Are you doing a refresh? Let us know. How many rooms are you willing to put towards a project? So if we have a large production, how many rooms would be available compared to, I know it depends on the time of year and what other things are going on, But, is there a percentage so we're not overselling your property? You can't accommodate it. Is there a sister property that maybe can accommodate it or whatever? Just think of those things. We're like a convention, honestly. People come in, they spend the money, and then they leave. It's the same thing. So just think of us as a convention, especially like when you're looking at the rates and stuff. Base it on the same kind of thing.
Yeah, we want to support these and accommodate their budgets because we want that economic growth in Tulsa, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The industry moves fast, so we
It
got to
does.
respond quickly if we want
And
that
I appreciate
business.
I'm not saying that people don't respond quickly. I'm just saying that helps us.
Of course. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, Meg, I'm so happy that you took time to visit with
Yeah,
us and
thank
chat
you.
today and be on Lobby Talks. And we hope to see you again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And I feel like I talked quite a bit. So.
That's okay. We enjoyed it. All good things to say. All
Yeah,
important
there's
things.
so much that's going on in Tulsa, and our, my office includes so many different things that it's hard to just keep it to
Yeah,
small
you wear
amount.
so many hats.
Oh yeah, well it's a lot of fun. I couldn't do it without our manager, Natalie Bowling. I mean, she's incredible. So she keeps me grounded,
Keeps you on task, right?
keeps me going.
We have a couple of those heroes here who
Yep.
keep us on task when we're doing lots of events, lots of big turns. So we know how that goes.
Yep.
We love those people. Well, thanks again, Meg, for
Yeah, of
being on
course.
Lobby Talks.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Lobby Talks. A huge thank you to Meg Gould, Executive Director of Tulsa's Film, Art, and Music Office, for joining us and sharing the incredible work her team is doing to shape and celebrate Tulsa's cultural identity. From championing local creatives to attracting film productions and events that put Tulsa on the map, it's clear that their efforts are creating lasting impact. And hospitality teams like ours play a key role in supporting that momentum. Whether it's through welcoming visiting crews, hosting events, or simply being an ambassador for our city's culture, we all have a part to play. And speaking of culture, we're not done yet. Next time on Lobby Talks, we dive into part 3 of our cultural series to explore a little bit of Japanese culture that has made a big splash right here in Oklahoma. What began as a small block party has grown into one of the region's biggest anime conferences, and it happens right here at the Ruffin Event Center. We'll look at how this event came to be, who's behind it, and how it's become a vibrant celebration of art, cosplay, and community. Until then, thanks for hanging out in the lobby with us. See you next episode. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Facebook for more behind-the-scenes moments. Thanks for listening.